and welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Chatfuel for e-commerce using the Go Beyond Shopify app, which is one of the templates provided by Chatfuel. So you want to head over to Chatfuel. You want to come to your dashboard, and you will see all these templates right up here on top. And your bots will be here on the bottom. As you can see, I have a lot of bots. And you want to come to the Shopify e-commerce template by Go Beyond. And once you click on it, I already have it open in another window. This is what you will see. So let's dive right in. I'll show you how this template works, how to use it best, how Chatfuel works, and how you could really leverage Chatfuel to have an amazing Shopify chatbot. And so we'll just jump right in. So as soon as you get this template, obviously you want to have it connected to your Shopify store using the Go Beyond app, which is available on Shopify App Store. So you can go ahead and download that, and then once they're connected, you will be brought here. Now the first thing you want to do is you want to update your welcome message. You want to put in your logo up here, and then you want to put in your message here. In this case, I just made it really simple. I just said, hi, welcome to my store, and then when they push this button, they'll be entering our store. So let me give you a quick overview of how Chatfuel works, because for someone seeing this for the first time, this could be confusing. This could be overload. So the way Chatfuel works is that it works by having a block structure. You could think of blocks, which are these little guys right here, as different pages on a website. And just like a website, each of these different blocks will have different information. So when someone comes to your welcome message, for example, this is the block this is the welcome message block. And we could see it right here. And this is what they'll see. They'll see this picture, then they'll read this text, and then they'll have a quick reply button. And at this point, they can enter the store. Now, when they enter the store, they will be taken to, as you can see, home, H-O-M-E. Now, this is the next block it'll take them to. So let's take you to that block just to show you what it looks like. And you'll get an idea of how this application works. So here we are now in the home block. And it probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but what it is basically the Go Beyond app on Shopify is pulling through a JSON API all of your products and showcasing them to your users. And if you look at all these blocks under the grouping Do Not Alter, are using APIs to pull in your order, to track your order, to see what orders are happening, to report a problem, to pull trending products, to pull your collections, to let users edit their order, to write customer reviews, to capture leads. We're using APIs for almost all these things. So one of the things you definitely don't want to do is alter or change any of these blocks up here. The other block you definitely don't want to alter or change in any way is the default answer. Now, the default answer is how the NLP works. That's the natural language processing that's in the back end, which is the part that understands language. Like if someone says hi to your bot, for example, or it says, hey, where's my order? This piece right here will automatically go and look that up based on our APIs and what the user puts in. But if you delete this, then we won't be able to do that, and that won't work. So let's go towards the things that you want to change. So you definitely want to update your live chat settings. This happens when a user wants to chat with you. And you could set that you can call a timeout after 12 hours or 14. That way you have enough time to respond. And then you could modify the phrases right here, which is pretty simple. The other things you want to update is acquiring users from comments. I'll show you guys how to do that as well. You can do a lot of really cool things here. You can message all the users in your bot. You can message users with specific attributes or that have taken specific actions on your bot, which is really, really powerful. You can target users based on what they've bought, what they haven't bought, how they've reviewed the product, and that's just hitting the surface of it. That's just looking at the surface of it. So let's go more deeply into what a block is, and let's create one. So here we are, and in this case, let's say that we want to create a block for demo purposes. We'll call this demo block. And What we can do with our block is basically we can fill the content in a couple of different ways. One, we can use just text where the bot says something to the user. When the bot says something to the user, you want to, here's some rules of thumb. You want to keep the language really simple and really easy to read so the user can skim it and be able to understand what the bot told them. The other thing is you want to add space, and you want to add timing to it. So that way they're not getting a bunch of messages at once. And the way you can do that is by using the typing feature right here. And literally it will give them this message, then it'll give them the next message 4 seconds later. And we can make the next message a picture if we wanted to. Or we can make it text, or we can make it a combination. So let me go like this. And in this case, they'll receive the picture. And we'll just use anything. I mean, we'll use this one from Aha Moments. Here's a cute little kitty, and the kitty says hi. And now the bot has sent this, and then 4 seconds later it sent that and that. Now let's say that we wanted to show them a gallery of more than one image. This is Facebook's carousel feature. And so, we'll upload your logo. And then again, you have an option whether you want it to be square or horizontal. We'll go with square. We can go ahead and make the image like this. Now the heading's required. We'll just call this cats. You can add a subtitle or description. You can add a URL, and then you can have a button. And here's some of the cool things about buttons. You can make them go to a part of your website if you want. You can make them call you. You can make it a share button so they automatically share it with other people when they press it on Messenger. Or you can make it go to another block. And this is how people go from one part of your bot to another part. And that is by pushing buttons that take them from one block to the next block. So it's kind of just like a website where you have web pages that connect to each other through links. In this case, you have blocks that connect each other through buttons. So we'll say that we want to go to demo 2. And then since that block doesn't exist, we'll go ahead and create it. And there's the block. And now it's automatically connected. But we need to create a name for it. So I'll just call it demo 2. So we just kind of have an idea. So when we click on this, it'll take us here. And this, of course, is an empty block. Now, let me show you something really cool. What we can do here is we can use this feature. It's called Go To Block. And what Go To Block does is that it's essentially a filter that allows us to send a part of our audience one way and another part another way. Now, the best way to use this sort of filter is by either using attributes or segments. So an attribute might be someone's name, what kind of user they are, and you could see these are the pre-programmed user attributes that we already have in the bot. So, for example, let's say we use gender, and if it's a male, then it'll go to block. We'll call it the male block. And maybe you have a bunch of products that you want to sell to guys. And so, boom, automatically they'll go down this flow, the male block. Or let's say they like t-shirts, right? Because it's either or. Let's go with desired product. And here we don't have any desired products yet. It's a demo bot, and let's say it's not. Let's say the value is t-shirts. So if the person is a male or likes t-shirts, they'll be sent to the male block. And maybe you have a store on t-shirts, so they'll see t-shirts. Otherwise, they will go. We want to send them to the female block. So let's say, how do we do that? We'll add filter. We'll do attribute. We'll go back and we'll use gender. And then we'll say is not male, or you can say female. Is female or is not the same thing. And yep, is not male. And then it'll go to female block. And just like that, we're segmenting our audience, which is a really, really powerful way to give people exactly what they want. essentially your bot could become the place where you're learning a lot about your users, what kind of products they really like, and you're putting them in a position where they're always going to be seeing what they want most more often. So this is one of the best ways to use blocks. Let's go back to the demo block and let me show you how to create user variables, because again, male, female, these are user attributes. These are descriptions of the users. So before we could send them down one way or another, we have to know a little bit more about them. So one of the best ways to know a little bit more about your users is you can ask questions and you can let them make decisions with your bot. And when they make these decisions, we can keep track of them. So later on, we can say, hey, all the people that decided to look at the t-shirt, we'll send them down a t-shirt funnel. All the people that decided to look at shorts or tank tops, we'll send them down the tank top funnel, and so on. So let's take a look at that real quick. So in this case, we're gonna say, what do you like more? Okay. We're gonna call this, and then we're gonna do what's called a quick reply button, and we'll say t-shirts, and we'll do short tank tops. Okay, and for this, we're going to create a user variable, and then a user variable is like, what do we want to call it? T-shirts. We'll call it t-shirts versus tank tops. Shirts versus tanks. Okay, done. And then when someone selects one versus the other, they automatically go into this group as someone that prefers a t-shirt or a tank top. And then here we'll create the t-shirt. We'll go shirt. And then select it. And there's shirt and there's tank. And right away now they're going down this flow and they're going down this flow, right? But now imagine that they're going down your flow and they stop on your block, let's say midway, right? They don't get the entire message. So what can you do about that? Is there some way where you can send them content like a couple of times in a row, where they would get the information they need, and kind of like an email funnel or an email chain where you send 3 or 4 emails. First one is information, second one's information, third one is a soft sell, fourth one is information, fifth one is a hard sell. So can we do something like that? And the answer is yes. We can do it with sales funnels, which are called sequences. So you would come in here, you would create a sequence, and your sequence is basically your first block, your second block, and then your third block. You could add more or less, and in your sequence, you could say, okay, I'm going to send it after 1 day. You can do that one after 2 days. You can do this one after 3 days. And then you can even go by, if you wanted to go minutes or hours, you can send it after 1 hour and then 2 days and so on. The way we recommend using this is to think about your sales funnel and how in your sales funnel, you basically have awareness, desire, and purchase. So that's one way to think about it. And that is with awareness, you have a couple of blocks that are focused on making people aware of your product. You know, they might not know that you have these really cool t-shirts or that they haven't seen in your store before. So maybe you want to put them in here and you want to say, hey, check out our latest t-shirts. And now they see these t-shirts. And then on the desire, you might say, hey, check it out. This t-shirt's really trending. Hey, we only have 3 shirts remaining, FYI. And maybe the last purchase one would be like, hey, 1 shirt remaining, here's a 10% discount. So you can kind of use these sort of funnels to lead people down the purchase path. So in this case, someone came into your bot, they used it, they played around, they played around with your products, and maybe right away after they play around with your products, you want to send them down a sales funnel that introduces them to cool new products based on some of their attributes, like man or a woman, and other attributes that you deem important, and then help them purchase later on. So let me show you how to set up attributes really, really quickly. And we'll come right back to the demo block. And then, actually, it was prefer. So here are your user attributes, and they're right here, t-shirts. So this is one way. This is the easiest way to do it, really, is by creating these attributes and tying them to the buttons. And here they are. And you can do this across the board. So even in your awareness, when you have your funnel and you show them 10 different t-shirts here, right? You can save their responses to user attribute, and you'll know which t-shirt they like. T-shirt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, for example. And then if they like t-shirt 2, well, guess what? You could follow up with t-shirt 2 later on. So it's kind of like almost like remarketing. Now let me show you some of the other features of the Shopify e-commerce template by Go Beyond. This is the setup AI section. You do not need to do anything here. It's automatically already handled by the default answer and the NLP provided by Go Beyond on the back end. People is a new beta feature from Chatfuel. You can go ahead and look at that on your own. They have a video that plays here. Broadcast is one of the most popular features on Chatfuel, and basically that's how you message your users. And you can message your users in a number of different ways. You could either message them right now. You could add a trigger, like for example, they push the button, or it's a certain amount of time after an interaction, or there's a certain amount of days after an interaction as a trigger. And then the really cool thing about triggers is you could add parameters to them. So you can send it you could send it only to men that purchased with you in the last 30 days, or you could send it only to a certain segment of your user base that likes this certain widget, and now you have the new widget and a new color, and you want to send just those users a message. So it allows you to really dig deep and send the right person the right message at the right time. You could also schedule one for later. And then you could auto post from an external source. So let's say that people subscribe to a news feed or your Instagram channel or something like that. Anytime you post on Instagram, boom, the people that subscribed will automatically receive that. The configure is where you set up and you connect your Facebook page to the bot. So, which is something you need to do. Once you've gotten the template and you've gotten the app on Shopify, you need to connect the bot to your Facebook page. And once it's connected, then it'll work very well. And then your bot will be live instantly. And then here's your persistent menu. This is your menu on the bottom of your Shopify app on your bot. We don't recommend changing this because these are tied to those blocks that you shouldn't alter. So we wouldn't recommend changing this either. And it's basically two high level. One's your store and the other's customer service. Chat extensions and whitelisting, I wouldn't worry about this at this time. One thing that's really important that you have to look at is grow. And you should definitely take advantage of the customer chat plugin for your website. There's another video and where I show you exactly how to enable this. It takes about 2 minutes to do it for your Shopify store. And then I'm also putting a video together for how to acquire users from comments, where I'll show you how to do that as well. So I hope this gives you a pretty good overview on how Chatfuel works. There's a lot more to it, and this isn't a full tutorial on Chatfuel. There's a lot of other tutorials. If you need one, let me know, and I can help get one over to you. But basically, this is the gist of Chatfuel. It works by block structure. You create content. You can track how people engage with your bot, and you could send them to specific parts of your bot through the Go block. You could also sign them up where they can subscribe for sequences. And then, last but not least, Chatfuel does have an enormous amount of plugins. So let me show you some of their plugins. JSON API, if you want to write your own APIs. Send to email, live chat. This is really good for people that need help right away. Comments, share location. That's not really going to be important for your bot, but for some other ones it is. The subscribe to sequence, unsubscribe to sequence. This is how you get people into your sales funnels. They have to subscribe to them. Which is pretty easy. I'll show you how to use that next. And here's your if this then that integrations: Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Then you have Zapier, and it's a pretty good amount of plugins that are very, very useful. So this is how you subscribe someone to a sequence. Basically, you can subscribe them as easily as what their attributes are. So let's say I want to subscribe you to the sales funnel. I could say that anyone that is and we'll make this really easy. Let's say anyone that is a man, value male, will automatically get subscribed. Okay, and if I wanted to A/B test it, I could add a random block. So it'll either go to sales funnel 1, or it can go to like new sequence 1. And maybe I'm doing an A/B test on which one of these funnels is better, which one of these sequences is better. And half my users will go to one and half will go to the other. And I will get a pretty good idea. And then I can do the same thing for women or whatever variable I think is very important for me. So make sure to check this out on chatfuel.com. And you can download Go Beyond at gobeyond.ai. Have a great rest of your day.